Hi, good morning, everyone. I hope it's still morning. Yeah. How are you all doing? Yeah, good. I hope you all are awake at the moment. Uh, so, thank you so much. Okay. So, I think everyone's introduced us already. Myself, Ayushi Maheshwari. You can see that also. It's written there. And I am going to talk about my company, Kadhai Kari Studios, which is now a private limited, and how it happened, how did I think about this idea, and so I think very important part about any company, any new business venture is its journey, why it started and how it happened. Just to give a little background about it, I am a born and brought up in Delhi 6 की गलियां पुरानी दिल्ली और वहीं पे I've stayed till 2009. So I was living in a Marwari Banya family, 25 people living in old Haveli. So you can understand the chaos that is there. But luckily, the family I was living in is a business oriented family. So I've always seen my grandfather, my great grandfather, my mother, and my father, everyone is doing business. I was very young, just like you guys who wouldn't understand anything about business, but I would always show interest as to what is happening. So there will be chaos like today, or there's an up, tomorrow there's a down, but everyone's smiling and they're still continuing what they're doing. And I moved to Ahmedabad in 2009 for my 11th and 12th. And then I opted for bachelor's in urban planning and architecture from Ahmedabad Sept University. So I didn't realize until then that I had an inclination towards old traditional culinary and the heritage of India. It's only when I started working and taking projects during my undergrad, just like you guys, you also get internships, right? And you also get assignments. So I was traveling to different parts of the countries, and I realized there's so much abundance of heritage, and these old mohallas and gullies that we say, they're all there across the country. Everything's so similar. And I could resonate to that because I've already lived my life in those gullies. So post my graduation, I got an opportunity to work with World Bank, and they had a project to document temple towns, 4 temple towns of India. You all know Vrindavan and Rishikesh, Varanasi, Rameshwaram, wonderful towns, right? Yeah. So yeah, I got to work in those towns, and I loved working because I loved documenting the people, the lives, the food, the clothes they wear, and everything about that. And suddenly I realized this inclination has gone way beyond my expectation, and is when I chose this course of a master's in heritage management. Have you heard about this course? No, yeah, because it's first of its kind in India. There is no master's in heritage management other than Ahmedabad University. And I got to join that course. And my whole idea behind that course was I wanted to. So you see, just keep hearing me out because I'm connecting all the dots. I was living in an old Haveli. Heritage was always there in me. I studied heritage management, and in during the part of those heritage management, I again traveled the villages, documented people, lived with them. मैंने बकरी की दूध की चाय भी पी है और मैंने चूल्हे की रोटी भी खाई है और मैंने भेड़ भी चराया है सुबह 5:30 बजे जाके. So you're always there living with them, okay? Is when realize that yes, there is so much indigenous knowledge in our country, but there's so less organizations working for that, okay? And post my masters, again I got an opportunity to work with UNESCO. Have you heard about UNESCO? Yeah, yeah. So I got an opportunity to work with them, but I did not take that job because I realized that I have a key point. I know I have to work in craft sector. I've seen there is a gap, but how am I going to do that? I don't know that. I took a very bold step, rejected that job, started my own startup, and I came back home. And my grandmother, so I lived with my grandmother, grandfather. So my grandmother very innocently asked me, uh, so what do? तुमने मास्टर्स कर लिया, सब कर लिया, तुम जॉब नहीं कर रही हो, तुम क्या कर रहे हो अपनी लाइफ के साथ? तो मैंने कहा अच्छा मैं बहुत बेसिक भाषा में आपको बताती हूँ, मैं आपका जो हेरिटेज है ना, आपकी जो धरोहर है, मैं उसको बचाने का काम कर रही हूँ, जिससे कि जो आप करते थे वो हम तक आए. फॉर इंस्टेंस, आपके घर में आपकी ग्रैंड मदर्स या मदर्स एक खीर बनाती होंगी या कोई पूरी बनाता होगा, उसकी एक रेसिपी होगी, आप लोग को आती है? कितनों को आती है? आती है, पर किसी ने बनाई है? बनाई है, कितने कम लोग ने बनाई है, राइट? सो मैंने उनको बहुत सिंपल भाषा में बताया, एंड very innocently she came and said, so you mean जो मेरी सिंधी कढ़ाई है, so बीच में आप जो देख रहे हैं वो सिंधी कढ़ाई है, तो ये हेरिटेज है, ये धरोहर है, और तुम इसे बचाना चाहती हो? क्या बचाना चाहती हो? तो बोली कैसे बचा रही हो, मेरा तो हेरिटेज, मेरी सिंधी कढ़ाई तो तुम्हें नहीं आती है, तुम दुनिया में जाके घूम घूम के लोगों का हेरिटेज बचा रही हो, अपने घर का हेरिटेज का क्या? And that is the very minute it struck me, she is so right. Why am I traveling across the country and figuring out houses and villages when there is a very big gap happening in my own family? It's been more than, she is 84 in 2023. It happened in 2020 when we have having this discussion. तो मैंने उन्हें बोला कि ठीक है, तो आप मुझे जल्दी से कुछ काट के दिखाओगी? तो उन्होंने अपनी बेडशीट निकाली अपने संदूक में से, ये ग्रीन कपड़ा उन्होंने लिया. सो इनका एक ट्रेडिशनल एक ओल्ड तरीका होता है, आप घर जाके आप भी पूछ सकते हैं. अपने बालों में उन्होंने ऑयल लगाया, एक कटोरी ली, ऐसे ऐसे घिसा, और इस कपड़े को उन्होंने बेडशीट पे रखा और घिसा, तो जो नीचे का मोटिव है उसका इम्प्रिंट ऊपर आ गया. And then within 5 minutes she drew a booty for me. She just embroidered that and she showed me. कि देखो इतना तो सिंपल है, तो मैंने 10-15 साल से किया नहीं है. एंड आई वाज लाइक क्यों नहीं किया? बोली क्यों, किसके लिए करूँ? तुम पहनोगी ये साड़ी अगर मैं काटूं, या ये बेडशीट अगर मैं बनाऊं, तुम पहनोगी? And that is when it really hit me that okay, now I have my gap and I have my problem statement and I know what I have to do. Now the next question is, how do you do it? It was 2020, Corona had hit, everyone was in their house struggling to figure out what to do. And it was my grandmother's 80th birthday in September, 30th September. And I realized, I think I know what gift I have to gift her. I gave her a company named Kadhai Bunai. It was her 80th birthday gift. And she was the co-founder who was doing Kadhai. My mother, she does knitting and crochet. You all would ask your mothers also. Everyone would know knitting and crochet. She became the Bunai partner, and I was someone who was managing everything, right? And meanwhile, I was also learning the craft of embroidery from her. And we started with what everyone knows about embroidery, the saris. So we started embroidering saris because we didn't know how to start. And I said, let's start with saris because that's what people know. And meanwhile, I also started an Instagram page. And what I do on that Instagram page is I would start posting stories of what we are doing, how we are embroidering, what our processes we are doing, very raw, very raw. So I started getting inquiries about, oh, मेरी मदर को भी आता है ये तो, and वो भी कर लें क्या कढ़ाई आपके साथ, और मेरी मदर ने तो ये चादर काढ़ा था, और मेरी नानी ने तो ये किया था. And while we were embroidering these sarees, Within a span of 3 months, we got 59 orders for saris. Only through posting about the stories, only through posting about what कढ़ाई किसने बनाया कैसे बनाया 59 sarees का orders आया. Now the next problem statement comes. So the next problem statement is you have an idea, you started your company, okay? Now you've got the order. अब रॉ मटेरियल कैसे प्रोसेस करोगे, उसके लिए फंडिंग कहाँ से लाओगे, क्योंकि हर कोई पहले तो आपको पेमेंट देगा नहीं, और आपको बड़ा काम करना है ना, तो बड़ा मटेरियल के लिए होलसेल कहाँ से जाओगे. So then I started traveling to these old markets because it was always there in me. सदर बाजार में बहुत घूमती थी, दिल्ली के मेरे बाबूजी का उधर शॉप था. Then I started traveling. मैं अहमदाबाद में मैं दिल्ली से सामान मंगाती थी, धागा कपड़ा सब कुछ. अब now you have an order, you have to train more women क्योंकि 3 लोग कैसे बनाएंगे इतना बड़ा order, right? Then we started training women. जो हमारे घर के आसपास लेडीज पहले रहते थे, उनको पूछा आप बनाओगे, बोले हाँ आता था पर क्यों बनाए. मैं कहा हम पैसे देंगे, फ्री में नहीं कराएंगे. You're going to earn whatever you work, you're going to earn from that. So it was a livelihood opportunity for them, and they started making for us. Slowly, in next 5 months, we had around 18 women working for us part time. Okay, in that time we also got an order. So there was this CSR event happening in Delhi. There were around 80 corporates being invited, and they asked us to make 140 kits of bags, diaries, and bookmarks. They were promoting sustainability. We had no idea how we're going to make bags because we got some saris बनाए थे. I took the order. Another point, risk and challenges. Being an entrepreneur, you have to take these challenging projects. I took it. I was like, okay, we'll do it. We have 2 months time, we'll do it. I don't know how we'll do it. We took the order and we gave that boost to the entire team कि आप सबको personally इतना 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 पैसा मिलेगा. Are you all ready? Now when money comes into picture, the entire scene changes. We did that order, 200. Now we have 28 women with us because it's a big order, very short time. And someone's stitching, someone's doing chapai, someone's doing embroidery, someone's pasting, someone's assembling. So we did that. And we also got one order for BPIT University. It's here in, I think, the Trust University only, BPIT College. They gave an order for 100 folders. We took it. On leap of faith, I kept taking these orders. Like, okay, we'll do it. And we figured out more wholesale markets. And while we were doing that, I realized that it's not just about the taking orders and products and making money out of it. It's also about training. Because when we were doing these orders, we realized how important it is to train and the process of training. I am living in Gujarat, so I have to speak Gujarati with them. I have to understand their timeline. I have to understand when they eat food, when they are free, and then train them. Vis-a-vis, if I'm living in Gurgaon, I have to talk Hindi, sometimes Haryanvi, sometimes when I'm in Punjab, little bit Punjabi, right? So how do you do that? So we started with embroidery workshops because we also started getting inquiries with young kids like you. We also want to learn embroidery. Can we please learn? Can we please? When it was COVID time, so we couldn't do a lot of offline workshops, so we started online. So you see, that's me. Oh, pointing. That's me sitting in front of my laptop and teaching them embroidery online. Okay. And then I'll give you a wonderful example of this girl. She came to me in Mumbai. She was learning embroidery. She doesn't have a right hand. Okay, if you see, she doesn't have a right hand. But she was so curious. She was my house help's daughter. She was so curious and keen to learn embroidery. She said, I will learn it. Whatsoever, I will come. She came every day after school, sat with me for 2 hours, learned embroidery without a right hand. And then she said, I will also make orders for you because I want to pay for my tuitions. She learned, she worked, she earned, and she paid for her tuitions. A girl with no right hand because she was passionate about it. And yeah, that's a team from different cities. So I was in Ahmedabad when I got married, moved to Mumbai. Then we were traveling Hyderabad, Bangalore, and then now I'm settled in Gurgaon. So you see, a lot of them training. Like that's my grandmother training women. These are all the girls 18, 19, 20, 21. Now they're women who have kids who can't really go out and do any other house help work. They come home to our studio, they learn, they take work, and they go back home. And now their husband's also so happy about the fact that, oh, my wife is earning and she's not doing any other shady job. I mean, being very honest here, a lot of people, a lot of men have an issue with that, that my women shouldn't go out because it's not safe. So now they're earning, they've learned a skill, and it's not just about the earning part. They're also making their own saris, suits, bed sheets for their daughters. They've started doing that. I read a wonderful thread. I think I'll share with someone here, and they all can forward if you all are on Instagram about different paradoxes. So, another key important about being an entrepreneur is you have to be creative 24/7. You can't be what you were doing yesterday and you continue doing for next 3 days because what you've done is old. What sir was mentioning, right? 60,000 people. Is that right number, sir? He said 60. You said 60. 60,000 have already thought about your idea. So it's all redundant. Even if you do it, it's redundant. Entrepreneurship is an everyday fight, 24/7. That's what I do. 24/7. Right now I'm talking to you, but in my left side now, already thinking about scheduling the packages and orders and who's going to do what and kisko kya kaam dena hai, wo sab chal raha hai. So when you're finished changing, you're finished. So being an entrepreneur, you have to be creative every single day. Like you see, do you remember this picture? बहुत similar लग रहा है ना किसका है सिद्धार्थ के आया yeah see so you have to be creative you have to be upbeat so Siddharth Kiara got married and we made this for them it's embroidered hand embroidered the entire picture has been embroidered and so is it and we've made multiple photo embroidered hoops like that and all our artisans make it now I don't make it you have to be creative and we started with saris, and then we realized how are we going to cater you guys, the younger generation. You're not going to wear saris or suits, but we want you to buy our traditional motifs. How do we do that? You have to be innovative. You have to understand your target audience. And my target audience for me is from age 20 to 80. Now, 20 to 40 demands something else, 40 to 80 demands something else. So that's how seasonality came into picture that every season has different demand, right? This is for Father's Day, this is for baby shower, this is for wedding and Navratri, this is for Diwali, this is for wedding, this is for Rakhi. These are random crochet hand cards which you can buy for any random thing, right? And you see, we make now embroidered diaries, personalized diaries. Add a USP. Keep adding a USP to your product, to your brand. And these all things we keep sharing on Instagram. We keep talking about it, how we are making it, what we are making it, who is making your product. Another very important thing. So when you see these brands, okay, let's talk about Sabyasachi. You all know Sabyasachi? Yeah, who all want to buy a Sabyasachi lehenga for their wedding? All of you? It starts with, do you know the price for it? Yeah, and you know where that's made? That's not made in Bengal, that's made in Farooqabad. There's a village in UP. A lehenga that's made for 60 to 70,000 rupees, you add a label, It sold for 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs. I also wanted a Sabyasachi Lehenga until I knew this story, right? You added a brand, it became a big thing, right? So you have to understand the market also. The sector in which you are, you have to keep reading that sector. And Instagram, yes, giveaways, lot of giveaways we did. So you have to be stay in the market for that. So we keep adding a lot of versatile products. And yeah, then came a moment. I think it's not very visible, but what Instagram also has done for our generation is the networking. Okay, a lot of networking has happened. Old friends, new friends, meeting, and people seeing your things. So one fine day, I was sitting in my studio and I get a call from someone saying, "Hi, I'm calling from this, and I'm calling from Louis Vuitton." You all know Louis Vuitton? Yeah, they called me and they said, "We're having an event in Mumbai and Delhi, and we saw your page, we saw your work, and we want to invite you to come and do live embroidery on our shoe bags." And for a second, I was surprised. I was speechless. I was numb, and I said, "Sorry, can you please repeat what you're saying?" And they said, "Yeah, yeah, we're calling from Louis Vuitton and want you to come and embroider on our handbags. We saw your products and it's a wonderful thing that you're doing." And I don't know that person. They just randomly popped up on my Instagram. And this is what happened. I went to their Mumbai and Delhi event. So this was a specific collection, came from Paris, only to Indian clients. Whoever was buying their shoe price 1 lakh, the pair of shoe, not just one, but a pair of shoe. And I had to embroider whoever was buying the shoe, the initials. And this is what I'm doing, sitting there for 5 hours in Mumbai and Delhi. And I think this is where it really hit me hard that, yeah, I think I've relished and lived my 0 to 1 journey. In entrepreneurship, there's a 0 to 1 journey where you churn, where you struggle, where you hustle, where you face challenges, where you're really grinding yourself. And then starts 1 to 100. I think this was my 1 to 100. And this was the time when we registered our company as private limited. Before that, we were Kadhai Banai. Now we are Kadhai Kari Studio Private Limited. It took me 2.5 years to do that. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes all your energy. But if you have a dream, if you have a thought, if you have a venture running in your head, what Sir said, do not give it up. Give it time, keep talking about it. And this is what happened. And post that, we registered, and these are all art. So then I realized, why just modernity? Let's add more elements to our page, to our product line. So for Diwali, we made these Lakshmi Ganesh. Lakshmi Ganesh and silver has always been a thing, but there is no change in the industry. I thought, why not add a change to it? So we did that. Someone ordered for baby showers. A girl sitting in Dubai, Indian girl, wanted to give something to her foreign friends, and she said, "I want to give Krishna Ganesh, oh sorry, uh, Radha Krishna to my foreign friends." So we made them and we gave them in Dubai, and things like that. We kept adding elements. We keep adding elements, and there's one more interesting slide. Oh yeah, then we got this Diwali. I think it was a bonanza Diwali for us after 2.5 years. We got 5 corporate orders, and these corporate orders were all more than 500 quantities, which means now we are a team of more than 25 women from unorganized sector working for us every single day, and everyone's been earning beautiful amount, and their husbands are so happy. We had, like, one of the orders is this 500 frames we had to give in 1 month's time. It's a day and night job. We did it. We delivered, and it's across the country, not a hotel chain. Like we did these personalized caps for a birthday gift, around 500 quantity again. And we're doing a lot of versatility with our products. As I said, you have to be creative. You have to keep creating new products so that generation like you can buy it. Right? And I think this is one of our most premium product that we just launched. Ritika has already seen it. So you all know silver coins. You all see silver coins being given in marriage and weddings and everything, right? With a very boring velvet cover. We thought, why don't change? Why don't you change it? Why don't you add an embroidery touch to it? So this is a 50-gram coin. That those are 10-gram coins, and now it's a brilliant hit in our wedding season. We've already got more than 200 orders for these. My team is making them right. So I think I shared a couple of things here, but the whole idea is that if you have an idea in your head, if you're thinking about entrepreneurship, and if you're not, please think about it, because what Sir was also mentioning, 23 to 26 is the time period when budding entrepreneurs are going to peak like anything, thanks to Instagram. Post COVID, a lot of small businesses have flourished, and small businesses have become MSME registered like us, private limited like us, and there are multiple challenges. I can talk about that later also, but do not worry about those challenges. If you have enough conviction, I think you can do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ayushi. And thank you for sharing the insights from your entrepreneurial journey. And I can surely say that here that you are not just doing business, you are empowering the people around you. You are conducting the workshops for hand embroidery. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. Now, Ms. Akriti, since you started your entrepreneurial journey during COVID with House of Chicken Curry, so I would like to ask here, like, how these externalities like COVID can affect the entrepreneurial journey.